It's Red Eye Radio. Gary McNamara and Eric Harley talk about everything from politics to social issues and news of the day. Whether you're up late or you're just starting your day, welcome to the show. From the Uniden America Studios, this is Red Eye Radio.
All across America, we are Red Eye Radio. He is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Welcome and good morning. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Well, a few things to talk about here in the election last night. I do want to play, though, because we had played Scott Jennings, and Scott Jennings was actually responding to Van Jones' comment about the angry speech, and we had played parts of it from Mamdani earlier. And the interesting thing is, Van Jones was really labeled as the socialist in the Obama administration, if you remember.
Well, back then he was considered a radical.
Yeah, he was considered the radical socialist.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I remember when CNN hired him, it was like, wow, where's this going?
Yeah, exactly. This guy is so incredibly radical.
Right.
So here is Obama's socialist talking about the new Marxist socialist.
I think he missed an opportunity. I think the Mamdani that we saw on the campaign trail, who was a lot more calm, who was a lot warmer, who was a lot more embracing, was not present in that speech. And I think that Mamdani is the one you need to hear from tonight. There are a lot of people trying to figure out, can I get on this train with him or not? Is he going to include me? Is he going to be more of a class warrior even in office? I think he missed a chance tonight to open up and bring more people into the tent. I think his tone was sharp. I think he was using the microphone in a way that he was almost yelling. And that's not the Mamdani that we've seen on TikTok and the great interviews and stuff like that. So I felt like there's a little bit of a character switch here where the warm, open, embracing guy that's close to working people was not on stage tonight. And there was some other voice on stage. That said, he's very young. And he just pulled off something that's very, very difficult. And I wouldn't write him off, but I think he missed an opportunity to open himself up tonight. And I think that will probably cost him going forward.
What I thought was interesting, where he said, where he talked about he was surprised. This might be a guy that might not unite, but might be doing class warfare.
Like he was learning something right then.
Like he was surprised at that. It's like,
what is this?
What the hell are you talking
What's this about? I didn't know
what
he was like that.
What do you think Marxism, socialism, and communism is about?
Right.
It's class warfare.
Right.
That's all it is. Oh, my God.
But, this is, I don't know. That just seems like a cop-out. Well, I didn't see that coming. Yeah, you did. Yes, you did. There's no way you didn't. We all did. I've been saying this for a while, it seems. Can we quit being stupid? It just seems like so many people are going out of their way to be stupid right now. And I don't believe all of them are stupid, but they're acting stupid. Man, it's, I don't know how fast. I said to you in the pre-show meeting, look, let Mamdani go to work and let's see it fail. It will fail. Let's see what happens, because that'll be happening in 26 in the midterm season for Capitol Hill, and we'll see what that does. Because I believe he's going to try and work fast. Because the play is, if you sit there and let it steep, then all of a sudden you start seeing the honeymoon period fade, and after the honeymoon period, you're done. And I think he's going to try and strike while the iron is hot. He's going to try and move pretty fast. By the way, that would be advisable for anybody on any agenda, left or right. And if he's got to go to the state for money, even though Hochul's saying, no, well, he's going to be calling, he's going to be calling state lawmakers saying, help me out here.
Here's the thing. The pressure that will be put on Hochul.
Yeah.
I mean, because now you have state Democrats, regional Democrats, and even national Democrats, because the elected representatives in New York, they're all federal representatives. Schumer would not say who he voted for.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That was the best.
Right.
They've got to take sides because now it's not about somebody getting elected. It's about what you have to do now. You got to raise $9 billion.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to do it?
Right.
Who are you going to tax? How what that fight? Because now the pressure is going to be on. If he doesn't have the money, if he can't raise the money, he's done.
Because he can't fulfill the promise.
He can't fulfill the promises unless he raises the money, and he's not in control of raising the money. So he's got to go out and lobby New York to do it, which means he's got to pressure Hochul.
You got to campaign. You got to campaign for that. You got to be public about it.
He's got to go to Hochul and say, "Let's go Bills! Let's go Bills! Let's go Bills!"
Otherwise known as tax the rich.
Tax
the rich.
In case people missed it, when she was out there about 10 days ago with him at a rally, all of his supporters started screaming, "Tax the rich! Tax the rich!" because she said she wouldn't do it.
Right.
She wouldn't tax the rich because they'll move. Mm-hmm. And she has to be concerned about that. And she responded saying, because she's from Western New York.
Right.
And she said, oh, I thought they were saying, let's go Bills because I'm a Bills fan.
Right.
And they're going to be playing Kansas City. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So that's why whenever we say let's go Bills now, it means tax the rich. Tax the rich.
Exactly. It happens to work on our show because you're a Bills fan.
Exactly. It's perfect. It works perfect there. It's.
I mean, at times you are chanting "Let's go Bills."
Yes, at times.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. I am. It's so. So that's the.
He's got a campaign for
people have to take sides now on the issue of raising taxes, and I would not be surprised at all if she completely folded.
That's what I expect.
I would not be. When Cuomo folded, Andrew Cuomo did, because he came in and the pressure was on. You need to put a millionaire's tax on. He said, I can't do that. I can't do that. They pay such a huge amount of the taxes that if we do it and they move, we're screwed.
And he said at some point something to the effect of that on this, I can't afford to be a Democrat, or I can't afford to be a liberal.
I can't afford to be a liberal. Yeah, that's what he. Yeah.
So, but here's the thing. On that wasn't just a New York City move. That was a statewide move on taxing. But those lawmakers, were they? Here's the question, I guess, before I compare those two scenarios of where we were then in New York, where we are now. But is Mamdani going to work a deal with? Because this is the only way you could do it. Let's tax the rich, go to the lawmakers to basically get Hochul to cave. Let's tax the rich. Let's tax the billionaires. And not only will we provide more for New York City, we'll provide more for people across the state. I mean, I don't know how because those lawmakers got to go back and go and say, well, look, we're doing this, but we're only doing it so people can get free bus rides in New York City, the city.
Will there be a compromise saying, okay, only 0.5% for the New York City income tax, and then we'll put some type of, I don't know, business tax on all of New Yorkers to fund New York City and also fund more stadiums for
Let's go Bills.
because for the state put more into for the stadium for the Bills.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it looks like.
Because here's what she said, and this is really a fascinating audio. This is fascinating audio because it shows you that even someone who I do not view as particularly smart, I may have been wrong because it seems like she understands economics completely. Because here's what she said in an interview. This is Kathy Hochul about saying that she will not allow him to raise taxes. Here we go.
We know that Mamdani does want to tax the rich more, bring it up about 2%. He can't do that on his own. You've previously said that you wouldn't be raising taxes. Have you reconsidered that stance?
No, I would say one energetic rally does not get me to change my positions, I assure you. But I do hear people's voices. I process what everybody says, but I'm also have to balance governing this state and making sure that those people who are actually the reason we have a generous, supportive budget that helps lift people up, it's their revenues that we tax. 1.5% of New Yorkers cover about a third of our budget. That's enormous. I'm concerned about outmigration of people who are the ones who are supporting our budget. I cannot make up for that with middle-class tax increases. I cannot do that to the middle class and the struggling New Yorkers. So this is the balance. I mean, this is my position.
She completely and fully understands economics.
Yeah. Yeah. And
fully but what she's saying is, I will not tax the rich, and the mainstream position of New York Democrats, of federal Democrats, is we need to tax the rich.
Yeah. And she sounded more like Trump on that issue just now, explaining why.
Yeah.
And she didn't try and dance around it.
No.
We can have conversations. And the party can come together and we can agree on something of, and I'm not going to make a commitment one way or the other, with the Hillary-esque kind of answer. She didn't do that.
She said, no, we can't do it. Because if you tax the rich, they pay an enormous amount of the tax. What she said was the rich in New York have paid enough. The rich have paid their fair share. Finally, a Democrat has given us the benchmark of what a fair share is and what billionaires pay in New York City and New York is now, according to a liberal Democrat governor of one of the most liberal states in the country, that the billionaires have paid, the rich have paid their fair share. He's got to attack it. Mamdani has to attack that.
Well, now that he's won, what would he be afraid of in attacking that?
She should be the perfect example for the left that's taken over the mainstream of the Democratic Party to say she needs to be primaried. She needs to be out. She can't be governor again. The entire Democrat narrative of how to save the country is taxing the rich, and she's saying no. The rich have paid their fair share. Think about that.
Yeah.
We've always asked, what is the fair share? We've never got an answer.
Yeah, define fair.
Yeah. Into my 37th year of talk radio, I've asked that question every year. Never received an answer. Nobody can put an amount on it. She has. Whatever the rate is in New York City is the fair share for billionaires, according to for the rich, according to Kathy Hochul.
Right.
Democrats agree. They have to attack her. She's taking a conservative position, right-wing, radical, fascist Republican position she's taking. Because if you don't want to take more of people's money, then you're a fascist.
Well, think about it. It's not just working against the left, but you're also working against a ton of populists in that regard.
Yeah.
Who will also say, look, I believe in these things, but we need to tax the rich more.
Right.
A former neighbor of mine said that one time. I'm like, okay. And he claimed to be a libertarian. I said, no, you're not a libertarian. No. No.
I remember one time when I worked with a talk show host who said, I'm a liberal libertarian. I go, no such animal.
Yeah, no, we saw that. It was about that time, in fact, when you and I heard from people that I'm a liberal libertarian. No, you're not.
No, you're not. 866-90-RED-EYE.
Brought to you by FPPF, Fuel Power Max.
Owner-operators with authority generally have two options when it comes to sourcing freight. Brokers on the spot market or directly from the source, the shipper. As any trucker with relatively recent experience with spot freight knows, the highs of working the load boards can be really high. On the other side of that coin, however, when the market flips in favor of shippers, it can be tough to keep your business afloat working with brokers. The smallest carriers with direct customers, however, can hang on through tough times or even prosper, as long as demand for their customers' product remains at least somewhat stable. Owner-operators in it for the long haul make direct business with customers a principal goal. Owner-Operator Business 101 is provided by Overdrive's Partners in Business program. Go to overdriveonline.com to the Partners in Business section of the website for more detail on this and many other topics.
Brought to you by Shell Rotella, with advanced synthetic technology is designed to help keep your rig running with more mileage and less maintenance.
Get in touch with Red Eye Radio, toll free at 866-90-RED-EYE.
We are Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. All right. To show you that Democrat liberals actually do know about economics.
Yeah.
That they actually do understand how it works.
Right.
But they want power. But they understand how it works. Here's Representative Tom Suozzi from New York. Okay. Talking about Mamdani.
Right. Zohran Mamdani has said, hey, he's going to continue to build this juggernaut he has of supporters to try and change the policy in New York State. So it's something we still have to be concerned about. Listen, he's a very intelligent, charismatic guy who's very effective on social media, but his policies are just bad for New York. And I think that we have to learn from what he's done by tapping into people's economic anxiety. I think that income inequality is a real thing. I think that, I'm for raising the taxes, but do it at the national level, not at the state or city level where we're chasing people and businesses out of our state.
He's a longtime Democrat.
Yeah. Well,
he's a Democrat as liberal as you can get. And again, it gets back to the fact that Democrats, they say, look, we want all these things, but do it on a federal level.
Right.
Don't do it on a local or state level anymore. Why? Because you're not going to be able to raise taxes drastically in the United States. You're not going to be able to get it from the rich. It's not there. But what they're saying is if you tax the rich, they're going to move, and we won't pay for what we want, and we know the federal government can also borrow money.
Yeah.
Right. Which is why state health care, government health care, never came to California, Colorado, or Vermont.
Yep.
We want it. We don't want to pay for it.
Right.
And that's the new, fresh ideas
yes,
that exist.
Brave new path. Yeah.
You're listening to Red Eye Radio from the Uniden America Studios.
And he's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Download our Red Eye Radio app today, and you can listen when and where you choose. All right, I just got to play this. Just some great audio from last night. I've got enough audio to play for the next week. But this is DNC Chair Ken Martin on with Jake Tapper. I'm just going to play it because
all right,
it's about young versus old in the Democratic Party.
All right.
Here we go.
So you say new Democratic Party. And I can't help but notice that Governor-elect Sherrill is 53, and Governor-elect Spanberger is 46, and Mayor-elect Mamdani is 34. Your party, though, has a lot of people in it who just will not retire. They're in their 70s, they're in their 80s. There's a New York Magazine story about it right now, about all the members of the House and Senate in your party in particular who just won't retire. Is the age of your candidates that won tonight, Gavin Newsom's fairly young himself also, is that also part of what's going on here?
Look, it's not a question of age, because at the end of the day, what people want, right, is they want fighters. The divide right now in our party is not ideological, nor is it age. The divide right now is between those who are fighting and those who are sitting on the sidelines. I reject this idea. There's plenty of older elected officials and older candidates, frankly, who are fighting. And what Democrats want, and frankly what Americans want right now, is fighters. People are going to stand up and use the power they have to actually fight for their communities, fight for their families. That's the true divide right now. So I reject this ageism that's out there, right? There's plenty of young people who are elected to office who are doing nothing, right, with the power they have, just like there are plenty of older candidates and elected officials who are using the power they have to make a difference. So
that's a complete lie.
Yeah. I was just... My eyebrows were just going everywhere during that audio cut. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Who are the Democrats on the sideline that aren't lock in step with the radical left?
Right. Right.
Who are the, except for Fetterman, who are
won.
these
Exactly.
people?
Right.
They don't exist.
Nope.
I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Our audio cut of the night, though, actually comes from Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yeah.
Who laid it out.
Yeah.
And
Red Eye Radio style.
Yep. Lessons from tonight, no sugarcoating. Exactly what we have said.
Yep.
Exactly.
We got our asses handed to us in New Jersey, Virginia, and New York City. Democrats swept all three. There's two key lessons for Republicans. Listen carefully. Number one, our side needs to focus on affordability. Make the American dream affordable. Bring down costs, electric costs, grocery costs, healthcare costs, and housing costs, and lay out how we're going to do it. And number two, cut out the identity politics. It doesn't suit Republicans. It's not for us. That's the woke left's game, not ours. We don't care about the color of your skin or your religion. We care about the content of your character. That's who we are.
I think he's referring to the second one, and I don't think that's a huge problem inside the Republican Party. It's been something over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Because of the Heritage Foundation guy and Tucker Carlson and whatever. But Trump, when it comes to the anti-Semitism part of it, really as the leader of the Republican Party, has cleared that up completely with everything that's gone on with Israel.
Right.
And Tucker Carlson does not represent anything of the establishment of the Republican Party anymore.
Right. Yep.
I don't know if he ever did.
Right. Well, and the Heritage Foundation right now is hemorrhaging donors, and they are, there's some decisions to be made there as to what's going to happen. I don't know, can't tell you. But, yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't think that's a huge issue right now with the GOP, with the party itself. I don't. I will say this. Quit putting weight in things that don't necessarily matter, or people giving them credibility. If you look at the late Charlie Kirk, he brought a lot of young voters. He helped to bring a lot of young voters to Trump, to the GOP. changing hearts and minds is done with work. It takes years to do that, building it. Charlie put in that work, even though, we've talked about it. I didn't agree with 100% of some of the approaches of Charlie Kirk. That doesn't matter. He did the work. But these influencers, whether it's, and frankly, Tucker Carlson is an influencer now. He's they call him a media personality, but he's not on a news channel. He's on his own channel, which is fine. That's great. But don't put so much weight into influencers. And that would be the only caution I would give. You're going to have to do some interviews. You're going to have to use them to a certain extent, but you don't need to invest in them heavily. And that would be my only caution for the GOP. Yeah. Because.
But you clamp down on it immediately. The leaders of the party have to. I reject it so much that when I hear it, I tend to ignore it, which is.
Yeah.
And
the garbage, yeah.
It's just like it's garbage.
It's not useful to me at all.
Right.
It's because it's never been in my lane.
If Tucker has what's his name Fuentes on, for me it's just okay. He wants clicks today.
No, that's exactly what I.
That's what I think. He's just looking for clicks, and he knows that is Tucker an anti-Semite or whatever that'll get clicks, and that's how they make their money, by getting clicks.
Yeah.
And so I tend to ignore it. Not that I won't debate it, because it's obviously.
And Tucker should have debated it.
And he should have debated it. Right.
Look, you're going to have to define where you are. And I don't know. I don't speak for Tucker, and I'm not on Team Tucker, and I don't, that's up to him. But again, if you're running for office, you've got to be clear about who you invest in and what that return on that investment is going to be for people that agree with you on most of the issues.
Biggest mistake of the Republicans and what they have to correct is the first part of it. You've got to lay out a plan to lower costs.
Yeah.
And they never did it.
Nope.
Trump never did it, but the Republicans in Congress never did it.
Right.
They put everything into tariffs.
Yep.
And when the president started out with the falsehood that it's going to be great because other countries will pay it, and we said that's absolutely false, he shouldn't be doing that, we got criticized by our own listeners. We're not stupid. We do the research. We know we know how tariffs work. We know how it's paid to the Treasury. American companies pay for it.
Yep.
And then immediately when they started promoting how great it was and how rich we were becoming as a country because of the tariffs, we said pure political idiocy if you're attempting to sell that message to the American people.
Yep.
And when you started with tariffs, even if, for example, we believe that tariffs should be used, we believe he did it wrong. And we said this in the first term. What he has to do, this is something we've been talking about for the longest time, you unite the friendly people with you, and you become the trade bloc that doesn't need China.
Exactly. And I thought it was going in that direction because remember the Namaste Trump rally in India?
Yeah,
because it
exactly.
was like,
right.
We'll shift to India.
Yep.
India was like, oh, yeah, come on over. And we thought it was probably going to head that direction. But Kudlow was one of his advisors then who said that, and we agreed. Isolate China, carve them out, make them the pariah. And what happened earlier this year? China goes on the trade war path and goes out to other trade partners of ours and says, we want to carve out the U.S.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very simple play. And also, you need to say, this is going to be our plan. This is what we're doing. These are our numbers. And they're not going to change. If it's going to be 10% across the board, 10%. And then, or 10% and then 12% for certain countries and maybe 8% over here. Whatever it's going to be, though, the plan needs to be laid out, and then you stick to the plan, because that tells you, or the voter, that tells the investor, this is what we're going to do. This is what you can count on, and this is how it's going to benefit you. But that's, I think, the biggest problem right now.
And as we said, if you're trying to lower cost, tariffs are only going to increase cost.
Right.
They may be moderate.
Trump himself said there will be some pain.
Right. And as we had stated earlier, if your goal is to lower costs, and that's what you had to do, and that's what he promised and the Republicans promised, we're going to lower costs day one, you're going to be held accountable for it. And when you start throwing out that taxing American companies is the number, and again, she was on it again yesterday. They left it go for a month, but I think they're lost. They have no idea what to promote in it.
Right. Right.
Manufacturing jobs was 8 months in a row down.
Yep.
And so you can't use that, which was one of the original things. We don't even know why. We don't even know what the explanation is from the White House right now in November of 2025 as to why the tariffs exist.
Right. It seems like everybody is doing the wait and see with SCOTUS.
But it evolves as to the reason. Now the reason is we're making the country rich by taxing American companies. He wasn't selling that ever before January.
Well, we've heard how many different reasons.
Yeah. And again, I'm going to keep going back to it. The outlaw Josie Wales, Senator, don't pee on my back and tell me it's raining.
Right. I would have stopped at just don't pee on my back. But it's a good saying because you're lying.
Well, the insult is the real insult is it's raining, right?
Yes.
That's the one that really,
yeah. Because you did both.
But here's this to me is the audio so far of the week.
All right.
How is Mamdani going to do it?
All right.
He can't do it himself. What's he going to do? Here we go.
But the question is how you'll make them free.
We will fund the revenue that would have otherwise been brought in from fares. And that's something that we would do in partnership with Albany. And I've put forward two proposals. The first is to raise taxes on the top 1% of New Yorkers by 2%. That would raise $4 billion. The second is to raise the state's top corporate tax rate to match that of New Jersey, which would raise $5 billion.
But the question is how you'll make them free.
We will fund the...
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of it is the income tax for New York City on the billionaires to 2%, top 1%, which may not necessarily just be billionaires. So 2%. Right. And then all across New York State, the corporate tax rate raised to raise another $5 billion.
Right. How many friends does he have in Albany? I guess we're about to find out.
Yeah. I don't know. I still think that Hochul will cave, and that's where it becomes a national issue. What do you do? But when you've got, like Representative Swazi saying earlier, well, no, we need to tax on the federal level, not the state or local level.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's a real conundrum.
And he's a global Democrat. I'll never forget the thing he did in 2017. We need to have global.
Yeah.
So this guy's as radically left as you can get. But now they realize the only level of government that can really get money because they can borrow it from our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren is the federal government.
Right.
They know they cannot finance their socialist nirvana.
Yep.
We are Red Eye Radio.
Coming up, more with Gary McNamara and Eric Harley. It's Red Eye Radio.
We are Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. So, looking at with 91% of the votes in, it doesn't matter if Sliwa was in or out. Mamdani would have won.
Yeah.
He's got 50.4% of the vote.
There you go.
So that's all he needed.
Yep.
Cuomo, 41.6%. So both of those overperformed from any of the polls I saw. I never saw one where Mamdani was over 50%.
No, there was one.
Was there one? Okay.
There was one. It goes back about a month, I think, though. I'd have to go back and look at RCP.
Yeah.
But, yeah, most of them, were 46, 47.
Eric Adams still got 6,382 votes. And the Conservative Party, Irene Estrada, 2,643.
All right.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.